Charlotte Motor Speedway's 10 Days of Thunder continues with qualifying for the Sprint Showdown. The last chance qualifying to make the Sprint All-Star race tomorrow night. We're going to race two 20-lap segments, and a lot depends on where you start. Here's Chris Neville.
Well, Clint Boyer was 7th quick in practice. And Clint, you won this race last year. Does that give you a little bit of an upper hand tonight?
I don't know about an upper hand. I mean, he who has the fastest car in these mile and a halves has the upper hand. But our hot ride's pretty fast. The Cherry 5-Hour Energy Toyota was pretty good in practice. It doesn't really, bust off that big lap like a couple of them did, seem like, for maybe 2 or 3 laps, but it really, I like the graph. When you're looking on that computer screen, everybody always asks what you're looking at. You're looking at that graph. It really kind of puts everybody's laps together on a graph, and mine was pretty flat, and some of them would take off and, dip down low, but they'd ramp up pretty fast. So that isn't really what you want, but then again, it's only 20 laps, so if you got a fast car up front, you hope you can get away from them far enough they don't catch you, and if you're the other way around, you hope you can run them down for lap 20.
Well, Danica Patrick and all the drivers you're going to see in this qualifying session can get into the All-Star race one of 2 ways. They either win one of these sessions tonight, one of 2 ways to win there, or the fan vote. So with all that said, how do you approach this whole day? The Showdown is so unique.
Go hard or go home. I mean, you have to just approach it that you need to go out and you need to win the segments tonight. And also as a little bit of a, like we made a change for qualifying in the race tonight that we didn't try. It was a direction we were going anyway, and it was good. So maybe a little good is good and a lot is better, because you can't just be okay and be like, oh, we finished 4th. It was a good night, and then then you don't make it. And it doesn't make a difference. So you might as well shoot for the moon and try things that are a little bit maybe you wouldn't be as comfortable to do on a regular race weekend. So hopefully it goes well. I have great fans too. So if I get in through the fan vote, that would be amazing. I'm always so grateful for that. But as a driver, I want.
Well, Austin Dillon was quickest in our one and only practice earlier today. And Austin, normally drivers can sometimes have a couple hundred laps if they don't qualify well to get back to the front. Just 2 20-lap segments tonight. More pressure in this qualifying?
It is. There's a lot of pressure here today, just trying to get in the All-Star race. Qualifying will be very important. We got 2 segments to get in, and I'd like to sit on the pole and lead the first one and be done. So we've got a fast car. The Dow Chevy's good, and my guys have worked hard, so we'll see what we got.
2 segments. The first segment is 20 minutes. The fastest 12 drivers advance and run a 5-minute segment to see who will start on the pole. And Darrell, I can't remember a race in recent memory where you qualify is as important as it's going to be tonight.
Well, I think Danica nailed it. Go hard to go home. I mean, if you have this is not about a good points night or about a good finish. This is about winning, and it kind of falls right into the format that NASCAR has used this year. Win and you're in. Well, it's the same way it is tonight. Win and you're in. It's pretty simple. And then, hope you got a lot of fans calling in to vote for you.
Well, Larry, you got your qualifying setup in, but that's also your race setup. A lot of compromises?
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual that we go with an impound procedure in the Sprint Cup Series. But, Mike, when you think about it, these drivers are going to have to run 20 laps of qualifying during those 2 segments. So, yeah, these 29 drivers, they're here for a reason. They've either never found victory lane in Sprint Cup or they're on a very long winless streak. This is a night where you can maybe make up for a dismal start to 2015 by qualifying good, winning one of these segments, and being a part of the big show tomorrow night.
And things are a little different, as they seem to change just a little bit every year. As we've told you in the round 1, 20 minutes. Starting spots 13 through 29 are determined. Those drivers are knocked out and do not advance to round 2, where the fastest is the pole winner, and positions 1 through 12 will be determined. Later on tonight is the Sprint Showdown. You'll see that live on Fox Sports 1. But first, green flag. And the track is open for qualifying, and as is often the case, Kyle Larson is up front and right out there toward the head of the line on what has become a sunny day in Charlotte. 82 degrees now, track temperature up to 127.
I see a lot of drivers, though, like Austin Dillon, Sam Hornish Jr., Greg Biffle, Clint Boyer, sitting. This is 20 minutes. Daryl, I agree with that because this is one of those racetracks that when it sits there, it's almost like it loses some grip. The oils bleed up through the asphalt.
Yeah, again, the sun just beams down on the third and fourth turn, and that thing turns into a monster when it sits here for a little while. So let somebody else go out and knock some of the, like you said, maybe oils or whatever's come up out of the track, get a little bit of a groove worn in. But, folks, when you come to pit road and you get ready to go on the racetrack, if you're not going out, you got to stay to the far left of the pit road over near the yellow line. If you come down and you're in the outside line, you got to keep on going. You can't stop at the end of the pit lane. So once you commit, you're committed.
Right, you don't have to go right out on the track, but you're not allowed to impede another driver and prevent him from going out.
And I think with what we saw in practice, the way these tires give up on the stopwatch and they just start to lose grip. If you want to advance to the top 12 and had a shot at the pole, you really want to make it happen in one run in this first round.
I'm not sure that a 28.69 is what Kyle Larson just ran. That's not a bad lap. I'm not sure. Well, no, it isn't, because Menard just went with a 28.43 to jump to the top. And Danica puts down a 28.53. So the changes they made to her car, a little bit of an experiment, she said, seems to really be paying off.
Yeah, that 28.43 that Paul Menard just ran in that 27 car, that is about a tenth quicker than the fastest lap we saw in Showdown practice by Austin Dillon.
And I think that's a pretty steamy lap now, a 28.43.
Justin Allgaier rolling out. He'll be the only driver on track as the first four to run come back in.
Yeah, there's no real rush here. You got plenty of time. There's not a lot of cars that's going to qualify, so no need to hurry in right out, I don't think.
But I do like the strategy of those four, because going out right at the top, if they have to make another run to make the top dozen, they'll have the maximum cool down time to wait.
True.
Just saw one of the crew members on pit road. I think a lot of them are cloud watching to see if we might catch a cloud here.
Well, I mean, the practice earlier, it was a little overcast, but right now it's bright sun, and I'm sure the track temps are the highest they've been all day. So it makes it real hard to put down a super fast lap, although I like that 43. 28.43.
The only shade in the racetrack is that provided by the turn one condominiums, right about where the landing zone is entering turn number one. Otherwise, the track is in full sunlight.
Boy, 29.07, Justin Allgaier. That's significantly slower than what he ran in practice. He ran a 28.81 earlier.
Yeah, well, this will be a good test here to see what Martin Truex Jr. can put down. We know this car is fast, usually qualifies pretty good.
Truex and Josh Wise on track. The two of them are in the top 5 in the fan vote, which closes at 7 p.m. tonight.
You can see as he picks the throttle up in turn 3 and 4, he's still tracking over a tenth to the red behind Paul Menard.
Truex won the pole for this race 2 years ago, and he is third right now.
Third behind Danica and Menard. So, yeah, I could see that time was not going to get up there where Menard is. I'm still like I said, I like that 43.
Josh Wise got the fan vote last year. This year hopes to race his way in. Nope, 7th out of 7.
Yeah, Daryl, knowing that there's only 29 drivers, I feel pretty good about those 40s and those 50s right now that we're seeing there as far as advancing to the top 12.
I agree, Larry. I think in the 6, man, maybe the 70s.
That 6'9" may be on the wrong side of the 60s.
It could be. That's what I'm saying. I think you want to be in the 60s.
Track is quiet for the moment. We are 5 minutes in to this 20-minute session.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the 17, he was in line. He pulls out. To Daryl's point, he has to keep going. You have to stay on the apron, observe all the blend line rules that we observed during the race.
Now, this car, they put down a fast lap the first time the car went on the track for practice. After that, I saw them really struggling trying to get this car to repeat what they had run in that first lap. So let's see if they got this thing set up for qualifying here good enough to maybe get up there and knock Menard off the pole.
You're right, Daryl. He ran a 28.75, and that was the first of his 46 laps that he ran in that practice.
Yeah, after that, they really seemed to struggle with the car. So we know it's got a little speed in it if they got it right here for him for qualifying. Looking good so far.
And gaining.
Looking good
and
so
losing.
far. Look, got a little tight off the turn, too. It kind of bogs him down a little bit, and that just kills the straightaway speed. See if we can get it back. No, it's losing. It's gaining. Gaining.
Yeah, it's going the wrong way.
Losing.
Second, though, 28.52.
Boy, that's a good lap.
That'll be good to advance.
Yeah, it should be. We were talking earlier. There you see Martin Truex Jr. He must feel pretty confident that 56 is going to make the top 12.
Yeah, I think so. Right now, top four, he's at a 56, got a 53 on Danica and a 52 on Stenhouse, and again, that 43 on the top there.
David Reagan in the Aaron's Toyota, which he will drive the rest of the season for Michael Waltrip.
I was pretty impressed with the laps that he put down in practice. His car was pretty good, and so was his teammates, Clint Boyer. So see if they got these things tuned up for the qualifying run here.
Yeah, David ran a 28.67 in practice. He was 6th quickest in this 55 car.
Car looks good. Run the bottom pretty good. Everybody loses a little off, too, though. You just come off that corner. If you got a lot of wheel in it, it bogs you down. Hurts your corner exit, hurts your straightaway speed.
In 2011, he won the pole and went on to win the Showdown.
Car just looks a little tight, and that's really not surprising to me that you might want to be just a little on the snug side if you're going to race this thing, if that's your race setup.
5th for Reagan. Alex Kennedy 10th. There's Mike Bliss.
And I know, Mike, you asked me earlier, but what I've always found about when we go from a daylight to dark, you go into night racing, the track, you can just drive harder. You just, the track feels better, the car feels better, everything feels better to you. You get a little bit more grip out of the car and just makes you can be a little more aggressive.
Bliss is 9th fastest. Here's Chase Elliott.
Chase tracking about 2.5 tenths behind Paul Menard. Going to be 7th at a 28.71. That's going to be borderline.
That's right on right on that line. 7-0, maybe. It's just hard to say. That's right on the line.
David Gilliland. Gilliland 9th at a 28.99. Alex Bowman 9th at a 28.97, pushes Gilliland to 10th. And here's Jeff Green, former Busch Series champ.
Down to just under 12 minutes. About half of the drivers now, they have logged a lap in this first round of qualifying.
Trevor Bain just came out, took the green, see how he does.
Jeff Green 15th, Greg Biffle green, Trevor Bain about 2 tenths back.
Biffle's been fast. He was one of the faster cars.
He's still tracking green as his teammate Trevor Bain's going to complete his lap. Not going to be a good lap for Trevor.
Bain is 10th and Biffle to the top, 28.42. Quickest by 1/100th of a second.
Biff's car's been good this weekend. He's practiced well. It's a nice qualifying lap right there. He beats that 43 that Menard had. He put up a 42. Beat the heck out of him.
Sam Hornish 10th with a 28.77. Jeb Burton, first All-Star appearance, All-Star weekend appearance.
They improved this. This car was a little bit better last week in Kansas. Qualified a little better, raced a little better. They've made some gains with that car. They got work to do still, a long way to go, but they're getting better.
17th for Burton, now 17th for Cole Witt, 19th for Michael Annett. Landon Castle, next weekend after the Coca-Cola 600, is he running or bicycling? Running to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and isn't that about 14 miles?
It's 14 miles, yeah.
Yep. Triathlete in training. Wow, Castle as Clint Boyer comes across 7th, 28.68, and right now the bump is 28.97. Alex Bowman is 12th.
Casey Mears, 13 car, laid down a pretty good lap. 28.63, 7th quickest for Casey.
That will bump Alex Bowman, moves Sam Hornish onto the top, the hot spot at 28.77 for Hornish. Matt DiBenedetto.
This guy's been doing a really good job in this car. I like the job they've been doing. Those Burger King guys, they work hard. Mr. Devine over there, he's trying to put together some winning cars.
So DiBenedetto and Austin Dillon will be the last two cars to make a first run in this 20-minute session, which is just past halfway.
Yeah, both of them going the wrong direction. Of course, Austin Dillon in that 3, he was quickest in practice earlier.
So DiBenedetto comes to the line. He is 20th at a 29.20. Austin Dillon is 13th with an exact time tying Sam Hornish, who is on the bubble. Almost 9 minutes left to go in round one. Tanner Berryhill making his run. I was mistaken. 2 cars left to take time, and then everyone will have completed at least one run. 29 drivers. Now on the bump spot, Berryhill 28th at a 30.92. We have a tie for 12th. Austin Dillon and Sam Hornish with identical times, 28.777. The tiebreaker is car owner points, and that moves Dillon ahead of Hornish on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, right now, 11th, 12th, and 13th, 7.73 and 2 7.77s. Michael McDowell right now on that 95 car is 11th.
Josh Wise has made a second run. So is Michael Annett and Jeb Burton. None of them able to advance on the top dozen. And you have to beat 28.777.
I could see Bain going back out and maybe trying another lap. He's 15th. Allgaier maybe, he's 17th.
Yeah, Darrell, we talked about it being an impound. This is a slippery slope because if you go back out there, that's another lap on your tires. And that's the tires you're going to have to start that 40-lap race on that 20-lap segment. So I think there's a lot of debate down there about what they want to do as far as making that next run.
I agree. But by the same token, if I can move up, track position is going to be really key, getting that coming into pits and getting out. You know, we see Allgaier. I figured he'd go back out. I think Bain probably will too. Some of the guys that feel like they got speed in their car that maybe they didn't get the lap they wanted, it'd be worth a shot, I think.
And to reiterate, the reason this qualifying is so important to get to the front is you're only racing 20 laps. The leader at the end of the first 20-lap segment advances to the All-Star race. He doesn't run the second 20 laps. The leader at the end of the second 20 green flag lap segment also advances. The closer you start to the front, the better your chance of winning it.
Yeah, you know what you hope in that first segment? The guy that wins is really, really fast. And he wins it, and you can get him out of the picture.
Right.
And that'll pull things back to where you are.
Allgaier there was green for a bit coming out of turn 2.
He's trying.
He's close to bumping Austin Dillon.
Steve Addington, get on that radio and encourage you. Push it, son. Push it. You're close. But
the further you go, the more grip it keeps losing.
Getting a little further
14th. Allgaier gets closer. 28.81, but he's still 4/100th shy of advancing.
But Mike, to our point at the top of the show, yeah, if we were preparing for the All-Star race, 110-lap race, or even the 600, the number of laps there, yeah, the disparity between qualifying and race trim huge. But tonight, it's going to be like all qualifying laps.
Yeah. Let me explain what's going on here on our ticker. This data comes from NASCAR timing and scoring. They keep flip-flopping the positions of the 3 and the 9 to indicate that they are tied. However, the tiebreak is car owner championship points. And what you see right there, Austin Dillon ahead of Sam Hornish, that is what the results will reflect. The tiebreaker is owner points, advantage Dillon.
See Jeff Green,
you know what that tells me? That's just too close to call. Just too close.
One car has not made a lap, and that is J.J. Yalen. Everyone else has gone out. Now, no one goes home. That's the good part of this qualifying session. Everyone will have a spot in the Sprint Showdown tonight, regardless of whether they turn a lap or not.
6 car hit it back out. Make another run.
It's David Gilliland in the 38 car.
Now, Alex Bowman close there. He's 15th. He's the closest to Dillon currently in that unsponsored Tommy Baldwin Racing number 7. 28.98. He runs within a 100th of a second of his first lap, but does not advance. Landon Castle's going back out. So is Alex Kennedy and Trevor Bayne.
This car, I think this 6 car has the potential to move up.
He needs 2/10, Darrell.
Yeah, I mean, they could have done made a little adjustment, maybe air pressure, whatnot, and get up on the wheel and get after you. Might be able to get in that top 12.
About 2.5 minutes to go. Here's Trevor Bayne in the 6, and now Sam Hornish Jr. in the 9 is pulled to the end of pit road, as well as Austin Dillon in the 3 just standing by.
He's in the green if he can just maintain getting off turn 4. Got a little bit in the bank here if he doesn't lose it. Don't. Oh, man.
Wrong way.
No, he had it, and lost it. Close. Probably move up a little.
Moved up 1 spot, 28.85. Landon Castle.
Trying.
He runs within a 1/100th.
Yeah, a couple of minutes left here, 1:50 right now. And
what he had. Now here's J.J. Yaley. He'll be the last driver to take time. And he is 24th of 29 as Michael Annett makes another run.
And I think Michael knows probably not going to get to the top 12, but to Darrell's point, maybe I can move up the starting field a little bit for tonight's race.
I think it's kind of critical. If you can move up a little bit, it's just it'll help you when come time to get on pit road.
So Annett and Sam Hornish, who is 1 spot away due to the tiebreaker from making the top dozen. Austin Dillon may want to roll that car just in case. Hornish clicks off a hot one here. We've got a minute to go in the session, so that's 1 minute to start your lap.
But like we've seen so many drivers in the green until turn 4.
Yeah, it's just you can drive in a 3, get in there really nice and hot and hard, but you just got to put so much wheel in the car, and the tires have lost grip, and the car just tightens up on you, and it kills the speed.
45 seconds to go. Allgaier completing his lap. He's going to get a little bit of a tow there coming off turn number 4.
Yeah, he could get a teeny bit of help here. Maybe if it helps him or not.
Gets him started there.
Yeah, I think what's against Justin Allgaier, this is his 3rd time out. I don't even think the tires had a chance to cool down from his last run, but they're swinging for the fence here.
I think they're a lot like me. They know the car's got speed. It's probably got a little more speed than what they've gotten out of it, but just too many laps on tires now.
But he had a good lap going, not in the green, but a great lap going until turn 4.
Yeah.
And that will end round number 1. Allgaier's lap, 29 flat, is 19/100 slower than his best lap. So 12 drivers will advance, and due to the tiebreaker, Sam Hornish won't be one of them. Greg Biffle fastest in round 1 of Showdown qualifying.
Talk to me.
Getting ready for round 2. Positions 13 to 29 are set in round 1, and on the tiebreaker, Sam Hornish ends up in the 7th row with Justin Allgaier. And there's the rest of the field. All 29 drivers will start tonight. Chris Neville is with Sam.
Yeah, and Sam Hornish coming about as close as you can to not making it into that top 12. And Sam, you won this race back in 2009. You got to go back and regroup right now, but there's not much you can do to the car. So what do you do to get ready for tonight?
The big thing is just try to figure out what direction that we want to head. There's a lot that we can do, maybe with air pressures and things like that. But at the end of the day, car's just not much turn as what we need at this point in time. So the guys are going to keep working hard on the shop.com Ford Fusion. I felt like we had a pretty decent car over the long run. 12th is a little bit further back than what I'd like to start, but we'll keep our head up. We'll keep working for it. A lot of things can happen yet.
Yeah, he'll roll off 13th tonight. Mike?
Thanks, Chris. Now, the clouds are starting to roll back in here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. How will that affect round 2? Jamie?
Well, this is Cole Pern's first opportunity to get into the All-Star race as a crew chief, and everybody's looking up at the sky. How much are you looking at the clouds, and what are you telling your driver?
Yeah, you're just trying to time it. I think the first session was a good bit longer, so you got a little more opportunity to kind of pick and choose where you're going to go, but I think the second session will go a lot quicker, and you're just going to have to fall in line and hopefully get a good lap. We're a little conservative the first one, just trying to make sure we, didn't do anything silly and got in. So hopefully get a good run here the second session and get a good starting spot.
Cole Pern said it's all about starting one of the first 2 rows for tonight if you want a chance at winning.
Wonder if it's still snowing back where that team is based in Denver, Colorado. Here are the 12 drivers who move on to round 2, a 5-minute round that will set the first 12 starting spots. We'll be back for that, but first, Greg Wolf at the Fox Sports 1 News Desk. Getting ready to race 2 20-lap segments at Charlotte Motor Speedway and transfer 2 more drivers into the Sprint All-Star race. But first, we got a 5-minute qualifying session to see where they'll start. Chris.
Well, Trevor Bayne was in the green down in turns 1 and 2, but you gave it back down in 3 and 4. Now, we just spoke with Martin Truex Jr.'s crew chief, and he thinks the winner tonight is going to come from the front row. Can you do it from back in 15th?
Well, I think you can do it, but it's a lot more work. I would agree with him that I think at least the top 3 rows, have the best shot at this, and it is so hard to pass, especially in 20 laps. So I think the way we've got to play this race is that second segment, knowing that the first segment's going to be really tough for us to get up there and win, but pit strategy and things like that for the second segment. But really, we just got to learn. We've really struggled in qualifying with our 6 Advocare team, and that's been putting us behind every weekend. So hopefully we can learn something from this and bring it back to the 600 next weekend and qualify better, because that is so crucial for these races, especially today, a short race. Our teammates, Greg Biffle and Ricky Stenhouse, have gotten better the last couple weeks, and we've got to latch onto that and figure out how to do it. So we'll see what we can do.
The track is open for this 5-minute round of practice, and I don't see evidence of a cloud anywhere on the speedway asphalt. The shadows are growing a little bit longer down in turn 1 from the condominiums there, but otherwise it's all sunshine and blue skies.
Yeah, Clint Boyer and Brian Patty, they wanted to be the first off pit road in that 15 car.
Yeah, I don't see any difference. I don't see what difference it makes now. You talk about a lot of time. Might bust out there and get you a good lap. If you're happy with it, it's what you're looking for, fine. If it's not, might have a shot to go back out and make one more run.
Boy, that clock will run fast, though, with only being 5 minutes. We're already down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, and the first car is coming off turn 4. I did think it's pretty interesting. Danica ended up pretty good shape in that qualifying round, but the Roush cars were really fast in that first qualifying round, which is a turn of events for them. Big change.
Yeah, and both the Michael Waltrip Racing Toyotas made the top dozen. Here you see Clint Boyer and then his teammate David Reagan in the 55. Clint will be the first driver to complete a lap.
28.67. That is 1/100th quicker than he ran in round 1. Biffle is much quicker, though. 28.47, a little slower than round 1. Chase Elliott, 28.98. 2/10 off his first round speed.
That's a good lap, though, for Biffle, Mike. That's just 100th or 2 or 300 slower than what he ran in the first round.
Danica Patrick, 3rd.
Danica's car is really, they've improved that car a lot.
Paul Menard on the clock, looking a little quicker than Biffle.
Yeah, that thing really went into turn 1, and it cut. I mean, it went right to the bottom. Sees
He's
gaining a
maintaining,
little.
gaining.
The car looked really good. It looked nice and free getting into that corner. If he can maintain off turn 4 here, which has been a problem for most of these cats.
He gained to the middle of the corner and gave it back, and
close, but nah.
Got it.
He did it. He did it.
2/1000ths of a second.
My goodness.
Unbelievable.
That's a 4.70 to a 4.72.
David Reagan was a little quicker right till the exit of turn 4.
I like the way Menard's car really went into the turn. It really cut and went through the center of the corner, 1 and 2, and then he backed up a pretty good 3 and 4 to be on the pole now.
I'm sorry, Reagan was on his get up to speed lap there.
Yep.
Martin Truex Jr. got a little bit of a lap.
Reagan
car
third.
to deal with.
That's Michael McDowell just ahead.
And I have to believe that affected him big time.
No, listen, on a track like this, somebody in front of you is no help. It's a distraction.
5th for Truex, 8th for Stenhouse, and now McDowell finishes up his lap. He might actually got a little bit of push from Truex. Don't know if that'll be of any help. He was 10th in the first round.
He's tracking close to 4/10ths off. He's going to be 7th. Yep.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Austin Dillon in the 3 car. Just turn 4 just gets them all. It seems like you can really see that thing start to go the wrong direction.
Old car gets all bound up coming up out of that corner, and it just takes the speed out of it.
5th for Dillon, 28.69. That's faster than he was in round 1.
Larson will sail this thing in on the top and just run around the top and see if there's anything there. He likes it up there. We've seen everybody kind of bogged down trying to get up out of the hole here. Might have been worth a try.
Larson and Mears are both out on the racetrack right now. That's the last 2 drivers. It's not logged a lap. We have 1 minute to go.
6th for Kyle Larson, 28.70. Right on top of what he ran in round 1. McDowell is rolling. Nope, he's going back into his space. I don't see anyone going out to make a second run.
I think this is it. I think might be seeing the end of it right here.
Well, I think with the number of laps these drivers have, they know they're going to not going to be able to get out there quick enough with everything cooled down to back that up.
9th on Mears, not too bad.
Yep, 28.88. And we're going to run out of time. Yes, we're going to run out of time before anyone else can
that 5
get
minutes
out on track.
It goes by fast. It's hard to believe it's that quick.
So by 2/1000ths of a second, which at these speeds is a distance of 6 inches, Paul Menard is going to win the pole for the Sprint Showdown from Greg Biffle, David Reagan, and Clint Boyer. Chris?
And Clint Boyer making his way back over to the motor coach here. You're going to start 4th tonight. That's pretty good.
Yeah, just wanting to be a little bit faster there. It was kind of our car's kind of been that way, really all season. But today just wouldn't really bust that big lap off. But I'm really happy with the consistency of it. So starting on the outside right there, we'll see what Paul does, which lane he wants to take. But it's going to be fun. Short 20-lap runs. I mean, that's the old Friday night special at Lakeside, baby.
Hey, he won it last year. Maybe you can win it tonight.
And he won it by taking 4 tires during that caution at lap 20.
The biggest terms in that in Lakeside there, my friend, you're not driving a Pinto tonight.
We'll talk to our front row drivers after this. Paul Menard's previous best Showdown start was 3rd in 2011. And Jamie, the Showdown has been won from the pole on 6 occasions.
And his crew chief told me this morning they wanted to start in the first 2 rows, did a little bit better than that. What does starting on pole say about your race car for tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, we concentrated on short run speed and practice. I felt like we had a better race car than qualifying car, so we picked up some time there, which is good. I think it's a little bit hotter than it was in practice. The short race, obviously 20 laps, the first segment, and hopefully it goes green the whole way and we lead every lap. But we've got a really good race car, and all hell can break loose. You never know what's going to happen.
Boyer's starting 4th, and he wanted to know, what's your lane choice?
I haven't even thought about it yet, but I got a little bit of time here.
All right, Paul Menard, your pole sitter. Let's go over to Chris.
And Greg Biffle was 2nd quick in practice and now 2nd quick in qualifying. Now in practice, you told me that the car had good speed, but after about 8 laps, it started to fall off. You think you've got that figured out?
I think Matt and the guys talked about it some, what they're going to do for tonight, and we've got a lot of confidence in Ortho Ford Fusion. It's got a lot of speed, and, man, I just wish I wouldn't have had to back out of the gas in 1 and 2 just a little bit. I didn't think I had to after I did, but that probably cost us that top spot. But, we're happy to be on the front row here. We know there's a handful of guys missing, but it's nice to qualify up front, and hopefully we'll have a good run.
Yeah, just 20 laps in this first segment. How important is it going to be up front?
Yeah, that's going to be really important. It's going to, I've been in some of these races like this, in the All-Star race, right, 25 laps at a time. It's hard to work your way forward, and it's hard to catch those leaders, especially they get in clean air and break away a little bit. It's hard to run them down.
Going for broke tonight. Mike?
But I love this format. It's such a great extension of NASCAR's win and you're in chase format. Win the first segment, you're in. Win the second segment, you're in. Sounds easy, right?
Yeah, but he's one of the drivers I was talking about, a long winless streak.
Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway, where Paul Menard and Greg Biffle have won the front row for tonight's Sprint Showdown. Chevy Ford front row. All Toyota row 2. Teammates David Reagan and Clint Boyer. Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex, Danica Patrick. Those are the top 8 right there. Casey Mears, Michael McDowell, who made it into the top dozen. Nice job. Chase Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse. The drivers who did not advance to round 2, led by Sam Hornish, Justin Allgaier, Trevor Bayne, and Alex Bowman. Looking at 2 20-lap segments tonight, as you have a look down through the rest of the 29-car starting lineup. Back through Alex Kennedy and Tanner Berryhill. How much strategy is there? It's 20 laps. Now, in the first part, caution laps count. But I'm thinking for drivers that have more than just 2 laps on their tires, they're going to be at a slight disadvantage in segment 1. Do they plan to get tires and go for broke segment 2, or is everybody all out all the time?
I can't imagine coming into pit road if you're up in the front at anywhere, because you don't want to give up that valuable. These 20 laps is nothing. But when I say 20 laps is nothing, Larry knows this. That's right on that verge of when the car starts going away on you. You 10, 15 laps, good. That last 5 coming to 20, car gets a little loose, gets a little tight, slows down. So they're going to have to wait and see. They're going to have to wait and see what the competition does or doesn't do and then react accordingly.
All right, Larry, let's say we get a caution midway in this first segment. With, say, 6, 8 laps to go. Do you want tires to beat everybody to the flag, or do you hold for track position to get a good starting spot for the next segment? What's your thinking?
Yeah, and I think that was some of the things that I talked about in the garage area this morning, Mike, and it appears that maybe lap 10 or 12 seems to be that cutoff. If we get a caution somewhere in that neighborhood, you may come and get your tires now, because I do believe the entire garage area is feeling like you're going to need tires during that caution. They keep reverting back to Clint Boyer last year. Yeah, they gave up track position, but they got those 4 fresh tires. But one way you don't have to worry about that strategy? Win that first segment, and then you go to the garage area.
But I'm just going to tell you, in these short races, I think track position is king. We saw it last week at Kansas with Jimmy Johnson. Even on old tires, he was able to win the race. Now, I'll take track position if it come down to it.
The stat boys are waving a page telling me how much money each segment winner makes. I don't care. I don't care. All I want to do is advance. I don't care if it's, $47,000. I don't care. Chris Neville.
Yeah, that's right. It's win and you're in, and Kyle Larson's going to start 6th tonight. Kyle, last week we saw you amazing on research. I think there was one where you gained 6 positions. Tonight you're going to have to be that aggressive.
Yeah, for sure. 20 laps, segments, coming from 6th about as far back as you can start to win one of these segments. So we're having to go hard. Wasn't very happy with the car in practice, but I think we made some gains on it there at the end of practice. Hopefully the Target Chevy's good from the start. We don't have to adjust on it any, and can have a clean pit stop after the first segment and try and get a win in one of these rounds and race tomorrow. It sucks when you have to watch on TV.
Well, he made some amazing moves up top last week, and I'm sure we're going to see that tonight. Jamie?
And David Reagan will start third tonight in the Showdown. It's technically going to be your second race with your new team, your new crew chief. So what did you learn about practice today? And then, of course, qualifying so well.
Well, everybody on this Aaron's Dream Machine, Michael Waltrip Racing Toyota, they're working extremely hard. We had a Dover test this week, really just trying to find a little extra speed in these Toyotas to win some races and qualify better. And we showed a little better speed right off the truck today. And Charlotte's a tough track to adjust on during the afternoon as it's warming up and the track's taking rubber. The guys really have a time working on these race cars. But I think our Aaron's Dream Machine has some potential for this evening. We got some really good cars to outrun. Got 2 segments to do it in. Got an important pit call at the halfway mark. So, yeah, just trying to work with these guys. Still learning a few of their names, but just understanding their process and trying to get up to speed as quick as we can.
Now, tonight's all about fun. For people watching, you mentioned 2 segments, 2 20-lap shootouts, basically, and you got to go for broke and go for the win. As a driver, how much fun is it for you guys knowing there's no points?
Well, it's a lot of fun. This is a great event. I think one of the best all-star events in all of sports. And to have it here in our backyard, some of our crew members, their wives, their kids, their families are out here. So that's the real pressure. When you have the girlfriend and the wife out here, they put pressure on you. So, my family's here, and it's always fun to race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But like you said, the 20-lap segments, they're a handful. You got to be really good from the drop of the green flag. You don't have a lot of time to adjust on the track bar and kind of move around. Before you know it, the race is over, and then a very important pit call at halfway. So hopefully between those 2 segments, we can grab the checkered flag.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Consult your program for the drivers of car number 55 this season. We began with Brian Vickers. Blood clots took him out of the car. Actually, we began with Michael Waltrip. Daytona 500. Brian Vickers. Brett Moffitt, six races as the sub, and then when David Reagan became available, he was named the full-time driver of the 55.
And really, the only highlight was an 8th place finish by Brett Moffitt at Atlanta.
We'll talk to more Sprint Cup drivers in Charlotte after this.
I was thinking Michael.
If you got to get your NASCAR today, you got to leave it right here on Fox Sports 1. Finishing up Sprint Showdown qualifying, Camping World Truck Series qualifying coming up next. We'll be back for the Sprint Showdown race at 7 o'clock. Then the Camping World Truck Series setup and the NC Education Lottery 200. All tonight on Fox Sports 1. Jamie?
And Casey Mears qualified 9th for the Showdown tonight. So what's your strategy? I saw you talking to your crew chief, Booty Parker. Have you thought about it?
We've been struggling with being loose off in qualifying trim, but the car turned pretty well in race trim, so we're hoping the Geico military car will be good in the race. Sometimes on an impound like this, if you feel really good in qualifying, it ends up being a little too tight for the race. So hopefully that's a good sign, and we wish we would have had a little bit more speed, but I just couldn't commit to the throttle off. It turned in really well and just couldn't put the power down like I wanted. So in the race, when you pull the tape off and you make the adjustments to kind of get it back right, I think that we should be better. So I'm looking forward to tonight.
This weekend and next weekend, we see so much about the military and the military tributes, and you have an awesome one, the Geico on your car with the helmet, and you see the digital camo here. As a driver, how proud do you feel representing them?
Yeah, I'm really proud. NASCAR has always had a strong military presence, and it's because we respect what those guys do so much, and men and women that work so hard for us. I mean, it's hard for us to fathom, I think, with the luxuries that we have every day and what we do all the time. But you listen to some of the stories that those guys are doing overseas is pretty amazing. So just real proud to carry it, and just wishing everybody out there in the military. Hope you guys have a good Memorial Day, and looking forward to having a good 600 this weekend.
And a lot of them will be watching you tonight in the Showdown.
Well, and Austin Dillon is going to roll off 5th tonight. Austin, you were quickest in practice earlier today. Is the car going to be good tonight?
Yeah, I think so. We didn't do a huge qualifying delta, trying to keep that 10-lap average that we had pretty good. And we know our teammate's a little different, and he was fastest, so that was good to see. Hopefully ours runs the full 20 laps really good, and I think our Dow Chevy's pretty decent. We'll see when we get going. It was really good in race trim.
I like what Casey Mears said when he said we gave up some qualifying speed, so we know we'll be good in the race.
I don't like that.
No?
No. 20 laps. You can't give up anything. Larry said it, and I agree. You're going to run 20 qualifying laps. So you set that thing up to get as much, if it gets loose or something slows you down, but you got to go hard and you got to go for it, I think.
But didn't you also say that after about 16, 17 laps, that's when the car starts to turn away on you from qualifying setup?
I said it could.
Oh, okay.
I said it could. But that's where the crew chief's got to be. He's got to, what you want, look, it's a short run. You want to bust out there. If you're Paul Menard, bust out there, get you a big lead, and if she slows down a little bit right at the end, who cares?
Well,
that's the deal. You don't. Long-run cars do you no good tonight.
But I do think one thing Casey was referring to, the setup's not going to be that different, but one of the things that they can adjust will be the tape on the nose. And even though it's a short race, you won't be able to run as much tape, and that may be what's dialing the balance for that 13 car in versus a lot of tape for qualifying. So it'll be interesting to watch. Again, it's not even a race. It's just a
sprint.
A sprint,
That's
exactly.
all it is. It's a little sprint race. If people said they'd like to see heat races, you're going to see 2 tonight.
Well, there's 29 drivers are going to start the Sprint Showdown shortly, and there's at least half of this field that has a pretty good idea they could win it. How big is the Sprint Showdown? It doesn't just give you a chance to be in the All-Star race. It gives you a chance to win the All-Star race. Just ask Michael Waltrip. He was the first to do it, driving for the Wood Brothers. 1996. He transferred from what was then called the Winston Open to win the Winston. Ryan Newman, 2002. And most recently, Casey Kane in 2008.
Yeah, of those 3, Casey Kane was actually the fan vote that transferred over to the Sprint All-Star race.
So of these drivers, 3 will advance tonight. The winner of segment 1, the winner of segment 2, and the fan vote driver. Now time for Traction Talk, sponsored by TireRack.com. Jamie Little.
Well, Mike, there's one thing that really sets these tires apart here in Charlotte, and it's the tribute to the military. Every single tire in this garage has support our troops for this weekend and for next weekend for the Coca-Cola 600. Now, as far as the compound goes, this is the left side tire. It's the same tire compound that they've run here since 2012. But this right side tire is a little bit different. It's that multi-zone tread technology that we've actually seen run a few times already this season. There was a tire test here in Charlotte in March, and a handful of teams tested it out, including the 78 of Martin Truex Jr., and this is what they preferred. This is what they liked the most, and so far so good this weekend.
Thanks, Jamie. A little later tonight, the Sprint Showdown. Next order of business is going to be not fried chicken, but qualifying for the Camping World Truck Series is coming up shortly. No matter what happens on the track tonight, one driver will reach the All-Star race by your vote. And there is how you can vote. Share your vote on Facebook or Twitter, and your vote counts double. Now, as of yesterday, NASCAR said closest voting in recent years. No statistics to back that up, but numerical order, here are the top 5 in voting. Danica Patrick, Clint Boyer, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., and Josh Wise. And to let you know who you're voting for, here is the starting lineup for tonight's Sprint Showdown.
I think the most exciting driver to watch is going to be that cat starting back on row 4, Martin Truex Jr. A little bit artificial where he qualified. He got held up by a slower car.
I like that 42, Kyle Larson. He likes that high line. He might sail around those guys on the outside right on the get-go.
Anybody in this group is a possibility to transfer. Remember, it's the winner of segment 1, 20 laps, and the winner of segment 2, 20 green flag laps, who will transfer into tomorrow night's Sprint All-Star race.
But I will say, Mike, I think got to be in that first 3 rows to win this thing. I don't think you can come for much further back. I know that Truex is starting 7th, and that's just right outside that window. But he might be able to do it.
It's going to be fun to watch, and it's coming up at 7 p.m. tonight here on Fox Sports 1. Right now, getting ready for truck qualifying as we hand off to John Roberts over at NASCAR Race Hub.